Hello everyone, this is GM VAR AKOBIAN with 1000 GM, and we're covering the round 2 of the St. Louis GM North Tournament. So this is a very exciting event. So many good players are participating. So hope you enjoyed the round 1 recap video. And now this is going to be round number 2. So we'll go over all the 5 games. So the first game we have is Grandmaster Harshit against FM Tuxtemur. Let's take a look. E4, C5. We have a Sicilian defense, not the Najdorf line, so it's a little bit different. Paulson. G4, very aggressive choice here immediately from Harshit, GM Harshit attacking, trying to get some space there. Takes. Queen takes is another option. Queen F3. So 97. Other option is to play Bishop B7, Bishop D6, try to fight for some of the dark squares. H4. E5. Yeah, this is probably not the best choice. Perhaps C5, putting a knight on C6 would be better. So it goes here. Bishop B6. G5, trying to get active. A4, putting pressure. Knight B1. Now see, I mean, this is interesting. He went long castle and things started to break open here immediately. Not quite sure where is the compensation. I think it was just a bad opening choice here for FM Tuxtemur, you know, because it just looks like just so comfortable here. The position for white. He can go queen e2 now, and it's hard to see the compensation now. It's c6. Bishop c4. This is inaccuracy. I said this was an interesting moment here. And here, black had a chance here because who is guarding the bishop? The knight on d2, right? Knight on d2. So maybe you can do the tactic. Boom. Now the bishop is under attack. Takes. Takes. And now the bishop is hanging. Queen takes f7. Takes. Takes. And some ideas like knight d4. And then you're trying to get the bishop out here and put the rook on f8 and get the development. So if a5 is played, you can just simply put the king on a7, okay, to blockade it. So it's an advantage for white, but I think black is in the game here. So I think it's totally black is going to be in the game here. So let's go back. So we had bishop b7, but now it's just white gets the control of the light squares. a5. This is I'm not sure about. I would have just definitely played the move queen b5 check, and can't go to c8, knight c4, so you have to go here. Just h6, g6, bishop takes c5, takes queen c5, activating. But okay, he didn't do that. He played a5. Yeah, you're not really going to promote this pawn, so I'm not sure how much you want to push it. g6, knight f5. Now long castle. Knight is going to sit on b3, protecting the pawn. Another way to protect the 3 was just to play the move rook h3, perhaps. Rook f6, king b8. And now I really like this moment because you may think like, oh, wait a minute, everything is winning here. You know, why not just rook takes c5? But it's like a very strong hidden threat here. If you play the move rook takes e5, actually you're gonna really regret doing this because he plays rook h8, and now suddenly threatening check and a mate. Okay, and suddenly things are looking very complicated. You take, you just get literally mated here. Okay, so you can't really relax. You just have to keep the focus on. It's very, very important that you stay focused here. Otherwise, it's just going to be difficult, you know. You can't just take the pawn. So it's a very nice trick actually here. So white played c3, which is a good move. Getting the escape square for the king, takes, and now takes. And now it's already clear that, you know, you have this and you can just take everything here. Perhaps bishop f4 could have been played, but still, rook is going to come in eventually and this winning endgame. And then slowly you will bring the knight and win. Still work needs to be done though here. So in here, take on e6, no more checks, king b2. Okay, here actually simply, apparently you can just take. Wow, that's incredible. Allowing the queen. Who does that? And then you're just giving mate here? Wow. Hey, just go here. You don't even care about this. You just go here. Oh, wow. Okay, not too many people gonna do that, guys. So it's understandable he just took. Here, check. Queen a6. Wow, huge blunder here. King 8 e5 was apparently the winning move here. You know, getting some squares for the queen. But now after this, check. Takes, you have queen d2. Check. Ah, he made a blunder right here. He did not see it in time trouble. Instead of that, he should have started with this move, check. The point being you can't take with this guy because you lose the queen. So the same thing you can take with the knight because you lose the queen with this. So you have to go here, takes, and takes. You cannot take back rook saying, and here should be 6. You know, you should be able to make a draw here because the rook g1, g6 pawn is weak, so it should be a draw here. Wow, so actually a huge blunder, and here he had to find a move bishop d2, and that would have been a give a draw. I played bishop b2, and that actually losing this game. Black, now knight c5, yeah, shouldn't allow knight c5, but it's already difficult because white is up a pawn, threatening rook a7 check. Yeah, rook e5 was another winning move here. But yeah, and then yeah, g7. So yeah, and win for Grandmaster Harshit here. Again, black had that chance. It's just pity that he didn't see the move bishop d2 here. He had he saw the move bishop c1, which is incredible, but just he had to find the move bishop d2. So that was a tricky one, and would have been a draw. Thank you guys, and we're gonna move on to the next game now from that same round. This was a quick victory for black here. This is a matchup of FM Gedaljevic playing against Stearman. I am Stearman, Josiah Stearman. So let's take a look. d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6, c4, d5, knight c3, c6. So we have a semi-Slav. Castles. Queen e7. So we have this development. Now it's time to get the rooks into the game. And rook f1 and e4. Trying to break the center. And here actually, my main lines are take, take, take. You can go queen c2, you can go queen h4. And this is how usually the game goes on here with rook a8. Excuse me. So, but that didn't happen. Under e4, there was an immediate response to e5. Not immediate, actually. After 20 minutes of thinking, international master Stearman played e5. Trying to break the center. So now, this came as a surprise because Gedaljevic spent 22 minutes now. I played cd. Better move is actually to play ed, cd, knight b5. Attack the bishop. And now if e4, you just play knight takes here. Knight takes e8. And yeah, if you take with a rook, just bishop f1 is fine too. Okay. So yeah, and if you take on d6, that allows the move knight e5, and white is just better here. Knight is very strong on e5, and it's not easy to get him out of there. Okay, so it's advantage for white. Slightly better position though, not a big advantage. So that's the best way to go, because if you go here, like if you play, let's say, bishop b4, then I think this is too dangerous. Position gets opened, and yeah, it's just too strong. Knight d6 is coming out. There's bishop a3 ideas. So yeah, and if you play the move bishop b8, then take, knight takes. It could be a move like bishop f1. And now, yeah, things are not looking easy here because now you're pinned and it's just a difficult position. So yeah, the best reaction would have been to do that, to take ED here. So instead CD was played. And now just, I don't know what happened here. Max just played the move bishop b5 after relatively quick thing. And he certainly overlooked something because that just changed the evaluation from very slightly better equal to a losing position. So bishop here, the point is now take. And when I spoke with him, he told me he just forgot that he can take knight takes c5. So let's see, he probably forgot that takes knight eg4. This move existed. And now h2 is hanging, e8 is hanging. I mean, if you look at this position, it becomes clear that black has so much attack here now. h3, just simply take, knight takes, you got queen h4 coming up. It's just lots of threats, okay? It's just gonna be lots of threats in this position. Yeah, g3, there is e3 coming up. So yeah, it's just a pity because now knight takes c5, we cannot take on e8, so he has to go here and take. Now threatening mate on h2. Here. And here, rook e8, it makes sense not to sacrifice. Okay, computer claims you can maybe give a mate by playing this. But again, it's not necessary to do that because you already have a pawn. Yeah, but this attack looks very strong. Knight g4 is coming up. Bishop c4, b5. Knight d5 now, activating the knight. G5. Knight takes f6, she takes f6, and now your bishop cannot move freely because the queen is saying, so the move is queen d1, trying to attack the bishop instead. Rook d8, protecting the bishop, bishop f1, bishop c5, queen c1, and I really like this move here, e3. Now getting ready to play the move queen d5, so rook takes e3 was played, queen d5, and now here simply rook e8, and e3 cannot be protected any longer. Bishop e3 is coming up, and it's going to be actually, when I was watching the game, I saw that there's a mate, but again, you have to calculate a little bit, but it's not that hard. Check and a mate. So there's this idea too, but I think what black did was very clean too. Just simply play the move rook e8, attacking on e3, and the game is over. Yeah, this is unfortunate game for Max Gedaljevic because he just made one bad move, and just after that, it was just gone. You know, it wasn't like just one bad move. Knight takes e5 in a position, and suddenly after knight takes e5, it's just down a pawn and a very strong attack coming that way. So it became very difficult for him. So good start, win with the black pieces for Josiah. Let's take a look at the next game now, guys. This is the top seed of the tournament, Mikhail Antipov, very strong grandmaster, over 2600, playing against a strong IM, Justus Williams, and Justus is about 2400 rated, so he's looking to get that GM norm in this event. In our previous tournament, Justus played in the IM section and had a very decent tournament. I think he got 6 out of 9. So let's take a look. E4, C5, knight f3, knight c6. So we have Ruy Lopez. Rook e1, e5, d3. So just relatively old theory, but now here Justice plays h6, a little bit more rare move. So Antipov actually takes almost 10 minutes here, 9 minutes, and just decides to go d4, bishop g4, takes, queen g3 now. Pressuring on, two bishops are always very nice. So I'm not quite sure if this is something I really like. I probably would have liked to move bishop h5 here to keep the pin on, but it was here, queen g3, knight d2, just developing here. Yeah, if you play king f8, you can castle because you got the pawn hanging, and if you go here, queen g4. Can go back, g6. Now the correct move is queen d1. Wow, this is complicated because takes, apparently just knight takes. Wow. I mean, queen d1 is not the easiest move to find here, I tell you. You know, maybe there are some other options, but yeah, it's not easy to just come up with a move like queen d1 all of a sudden, because you feel like your queen is already active, it's already in the game, and now you have to bring it back suddenly. So anyway, it was an idea. Knight h5, so king f8 played, knight d2, queen d7, f4, take, bishop c5, activity, and now here knight f3 was played. I'm not sure if Mikhail had to allow this. He could have just simply played king f1, takes, and then get the knight on f3, and should be fine, you know. If you try to do rook e5, knight f3, takes. There is queen f5 ideas. I don't know. Bishop f4, there is knight h5. But there's a strong move, bishop a3 here, activating the bishop. Can't die with the queen take. Now knight takes f7. Hitting the rook and simply picking up this guy here. And queen d8, rook e1 ideas. So knight f3. So that didn't happen, I think. So because yeah, he should have played that king of. He played knight f3. And now that allows some lines. Knight h5, queen f5. Perhaps g6 here, just to protect the knight, would have been okay here. G6, king g7, takes. Knight d4 now, good move. Trying to trade pieces. That's a blunder, g5. So here, rook f1. It's a strong move, and it looks like it's going to give white some decisive advantage because it's very tricky to defend this. Rook e7, for example, runs into bishop b2. And some c4 ideas coming. It's very hard to play this position for black because there is no safety for the king. Perhaps he didn't like the move f5, but in that case, just simply sack, take, threatening mate. You just play for the initiative. Get the bishop out, get the rook in, and there's just so many threats here. I don't think this black king is going to survive. But this is just a. Oh, and he returned a favor. He played this move. Here it's a draw, actually. Just here, g5, takes, queen f3. And the king is very, very exposed. Queen f2 is so strong. So bishop g5, and this is just a draw. Check, 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 check. Yeah, actually white is very close to give him a2, but if he takes on f7, now just queen takes f7, black will be better. So, and now queen f2 is a very strong threat, and you can't really do anything about it. Queen f2 and queen f3. Yeah. Queen f2, yeah, queen f3, and just gonna be hard to do anything here. So yeah, would have been a draw here if Justice played the move g5, knight f6, and now I think white is just taking over. Check. This is a nice check. Rook e7 can take because pawn takes back and promotes. 5, check, protects. Okay, maybe king h7 would have been okay here. Try to get a king in. But yeah, I've had this kind of endgames. This is of course completely hopeless. Yeah, and at the point now, you take bishop g6 and rook h8 mate. And the idea was if you take with the bishop, bishop g6 check, and mate. And if you go here, there's a check. There's a check and take, win. If he goes here, just king takes. And just winning position. So yeah, so this is a very complicated and sharp game, but it ended in a draw between, Antipov won the game. And, Justice had his chance. If he, right around here, Justice had his chance. If he played g5, he would have drawn the 2600 Grandmaster with the black pieces. g5, queen h5, g5, queen h5, queen f3, and black is going to give a perpetual. Next game we have, this is a game between one of our youngest participant, clearly, the Dimitar Mardov, 24-14, against experienced IM, Kalekstein, okay? So let's take a look at this game, guys. Knight f6, knight f5, bishop f4, bishop f5, bishop d3, knight e4. Knight fd2, interesting play here, trying to get rid of the knight. Takes, doubling up the pawns. But black got some lead in development here, but the question is this e4 pawn is going to be weak. Knight c4. Now he sees that black is getting ready to play the move e5 and try to break open the position. So he's trying to take some measures against it with the move knight c4. I like this for white. The structure looks a little bit clean, and now clearly Dimitar realizes that bishop f6 wasn't a good move, so he goes back. Queen d2, knight f6, a3. Queen a5. Okay, this is interesting. Trying to trade the queens off the board. Inaccuracy. So perhaps another move could have been played. I don't know. Here's maybe b4. Yeah, b4 would have been an interesting option here. Knight d5, bishop g3, rook fd1, developing the pieces. Knight d2, keeping the knights, and keeping an eye on this pawn would be advantageous. Okay, advantageous for white because this pawn is really big problem, and it's also keeping this bishop very passive. So take. Now trying to break here. Now at position already became equal, and yeah, this break actually just gave black the full equality here. Yeah, neither side can do much. There are no weaknesses. There are really no weaknesses. If the light square bishop can get in somehow, or if the king was on d4, then white can push this position, but the king is not there, so it's going to be very, very difficult to do anything. So it ended peacefully, this game. I mean, very quiet game, but white had some chances. White had some chances, but because I think in the opening, I don't know if I really like this. I think if you have a pawn here, you got to play knight d5. You got to try to play more actively, But c6 now, I think another plan was just to play b4, just try to expand b4 and just get the pawns going, okay? So it would have been very nice. Okay, and now the last game of this tournament was a long game. These two players had a very big fight last time when there was a Norm event in St. Louis, and that game also ended in a draw. And it was a back and forth game. Kretchetov was better in the beginning. He was pressing, then he was losing at some point. Looks like Chandra was about to win, but he made a blunder, and then it ended in a draw. So this time around, we had an interesting matchup here. Grandmaster Akshat Chandra, my student from St. Louis University, against FM Alex Kretchetov, very experienced IM. Don't look at his rating. Rating is low right now, but he is very experienced guy, okay? d4, d5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop f4, e6, e3, bishop d6, castles, c3, c5. So we have the Trompowsky setup. Knight goes on d4. I always thought that white is a little bit better here, because castle, rook e1 now is going to be very nice, because the big difference here is, guys, the bishop. Look at the bishop here and look at the bishop here. That is a big difference between the two bishops. So now it goes here, take. Queen e2. If they trade queens, it's going to be a big time suffering game for black. So that's why Kretchetov doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep the queens on the board. But he's worse. I think Chandra came ahead in opening. Bishop g4, queen h5, rook f1, bishop f1. So here perhaps king g2 could be played and then preparing the move f3 because you really need f3 here to get this bishop out of there and control more squares. Queen is not very well placed here on h5. Bishop g2. And now g5, trying to get the counterplay. Takes, maybe king h8, king g7, rook h8 ideas. Queen h3. Well, I don't know. This is remaneuvering back here. I'm not sure. Bishop was already there. Now came back. Now he's going back again. I'm not sure. I think here just I like this idea. Queen f2. Queen g3. And just try to put pressure here. Trading queens. And right around when it felt like, oh, he's going to trade queens, there is a sacrifice. Ooh. And now if you take, bishop takes. And Grandmaster Chandra is in big time trouble. Look at this clock. He has 3.5 minutes in this position. Bishop g4. Now it's an unpleasant move. Ooh. How did this happen? Why did he move the bishop from f1? It looked like a nice secure position. Just put the queen on f2, trade, bring the rook over. White is just a little bit better. Now he's down a pawn. g4 takes. e3. Now definitely black is a little bit pressing, especially more time on the clock. King h7. Yeah, neither side can do really much. It's there's just too solid. If anybody, maybe black. Yeah, now trading the knights. This makes sense. Pawn. Up a pawn, but the problem here is the pawns are very split, guys. It's up a pawn, it's good, but it's the pawns are very split. Here, b4. Yeah, and pawns are also not advanced, so yeah. Now the threat is always c4 is coming up too, so yeah, now it's just a draw. Yeah, so they probably just played here and king d4, and it's a draw here. So yeah, that's a very interesting game here. I definitely liked Akshat Chandra's position here. I thought he had the advantage out of the opening, but you know, this is an interesting plan. I mean, Alex Kretchetov is showing that, you know, the experience counts here, guys, because not too many people would think of the idea of playing h6 and g5 here. So this is actually quite a nice idea that he did. So I really like what he did here with h6, g5 and trying to get counterplay here. And I think Grandmaster Chandra did fine here, but I think he had to bring this queen on f2. It was very important, you know, to consolidate the position. You know, I don't know if he could do this. I don't know if he probably wanted to go here and then queen h2, because if you go queen h2 right away, queen d3. No, this is good actually. It's good to keep the queens on the board, but okay, probably take. Yeah, and then should be just about equal, because it's really hard to do much with this one weakness on d5. So rook e8 takes, knight d6. Yeah, it's just going to be hard to generate big winning chances here, you know. But of course, if anybody is pushing here, it's definitely white in this position. And I also quite like what Kretchetov did in this game with the queen h3. Opponent and Chandra went here. Actually spent a lot of time. Look at the clock, 24 minutes for Chandra, and he spends 21 minutes playing this move, allowing bishop h2. That basically shows that this was a good move, and just, you know, wow. It's very, very nice move, and bishop g4, and nice way to equalize the game here. So quite a nice play here for FM Cratchit. A good result for him, neutralizing the grandmaster, 300, more than 300 points higher than him. So this is a really, really good result for him. Okay, so this concludes round 2 recap. We went over all the games, guys, of this exciting event. We have 3 decisive games out of 5. So definitely we see a lot of fighting chess. We don't see any short draws. People are fighting hard. People are here to earn their norms. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. We'll also have recap videos for the IM section as well of this event. So please stay tuned and follow all the videos and subscribe to 1000 GM YouTube channel so we can have more game analysis like this for you and more events. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you soon again for the round 3 recap of this exciting event. Have a good one.